Hello, it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight's headlines, we have the head of state chairs the fifth sessions of the Council of Ministers. For the international scene, Gaza under blockade, Israeli occupation defies justice. Welcome to our newsroom under the chairmanship of His Excellency the Head of State and Head of Government Ismail Omar Guelleh. The fifth meeting of the Council of Ministers was held this Tuesday, on Tuesday, 25 February 2025. The following texts were examined and approved. Listen to the acting spokeswoman of the government, Ulufa Ismail Abdo.
Sous la présidence de son Excellence, M. Ismail Omar Guelleh, président de la République, chef de gouvernement, a eu lieu ce mardi 25 février 2025, la 5e séance du Conseil des ministres.
In communication on the 2024 annual report of the National Public Procurement Commission, the Secretary General of the Government has issued a statement on the 2024 annual report on the activities of the National Public Procurement Commission. The CNP's report is now part of the national landscape, and the 2024 edition, the first of its kind, is no exception to the rule. It underlined the determination of the Djiboutian authority to strengthen communication and highlight the major advance made in terms of the modernization and transparency of the public procurement system in the Republic of Djibouti. The public procurement is becoming a real lever for economic and social development in 2024. 223 contracts were awarded to 35 contracting authorities, representing a total values of 50 billion Djibouti's francs. The 2024 report highlighted the strengthening of national preference, which was consolidated in 2024 with 71.2% of contracts awarded to Djiboutian companies, thereby promoting national expertise and the development of local SMEs. The 2024 report also mentions the progress made in the demilitarization of public procurement procedures with the creation in 2023 of an electronic information portal for public procurement, which is a first step in our reform strategy. The introduction of this portal has made it possible to improve traceability, speed up the processing of files, and increase the transparency of transactions, thereby creating greater confidence among economic operators and citizens in the process of awarding contracts. Draft decree creating the special status of Instat executives. The purpose of this draft decree is to create a special status for the executives of the National Institute of Statistics of Djibouti. Reliable and accurate data are essential tools for planning and evaluating public policies. Until now, statisticians have not had a specific legal framework that took sufficient account of the technical nature and specific requirement of these jobs. Third question, draft decree adopting the 2024-2027 Public Finance Management Reform Strategy and Action Plan. The Republic of Djibouti is continuing its effort to modernize public finance management as part of its Vision 2035 and its National Development Plan 2020-2024. The 2022 PFA evaluation highlighted challenges related to budgetary discipline, the mobilization of fiscal resources, and the transparency of public spending. In response, the public financial management strategy aims to align financial practices with international standards to ensure effective, accountable, and transparent management of public resources. This reform is based on a number of major axes, including strengthening budgetary control, diversifying revenue sources, of reducing dependence on custom duties, and adopting results-based budgeting. It also puts in place a specific governance mechanism to ensure better monitoring of the reform and greater effectiveness of the latter, with moreover improved supervision of public enterprises. Finally, the draft decree establishing an action plan for the period 2024-2027, defining priorities and performance indicators. It also established a framework for consultation with technical and financial partners to ensure that efforts are harmonized and that national priorities are respected. This initiative marks a major step toward more transparent and efficient management of public finance based on a collective commitment and effective coordination between the players involved.
The following texts were examined and approved. Listen once again to the spokesperson of the government, Ulufa Ismail Abdo.
question, draft decree on the organization, composition and functioning of the governance structures of the Public Finance Management Reform Strategy. The Public Finance Management Reform Strategy aimed to strengthen the efficiency and transparency of public finance through structural and organizational measures. Its main objective is to modernize the management of public resources, improve budget planning and execution, and promote better coordination between institutional players. This strategy is based on clear and structured governance to ensure accountability and effective monitoring of the reform. This draft order establishes the organization and operation of the bodies responsible for implementing this strategy. It defines the taxes and responsibilities of the various bodies, in particular the Reform Steering Committee, which is responsible for setting strategic guidelines and overseeing the implementation of the reforms, and the Executive Secretariat, which coordinate actions and ensure operational monitoring. In addition, the Technical Committee on Public Finance Reform plays a key role in analyzing economic and financial data and assessing the consistency of sectoral policies with the PFM strategy. Fifth question, draft decree determining the condition of certain positions of civil servants. The purpose of the draft decree is to set the modalities of the application of the provision on the general status of civil servant as regard the regulation applicable to certain position of civil servants. This draft meets the objective of improving the legal regime applicable to civil servants. In addition, this text defines the rights and obligations of civil servants in each position, taking care to maintain their fundamental rights. The sixth question, draft decree establishing the system of leave and absence for civil servants. Pursuant to Article 75 of Law Number 21 of the year 23, pursuant to Article 75 of Law Number 29 of the year 2023, on the general status of civil servants, the draft decree establishes the legal framework governing leave and absence of civil servants, specifying the condition for granting such leaves, the duration thereof, and the obligation of beneficiaries. The draft deals with the different types of leave granted to civil servants according to specific criteria, including certain types of leave such as annual leave, exceptional leave for families, events or special circumstances, sick leave requiring medical certification, and so on. This draft decree therefore provides a strict framework for the management of leave and absence in order to ensure that the administration functions optimally while guaranteeing the right of civil servants. Communication. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, acting government spokesperson, reported on the participation of the delegation led by the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, in the 38th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of the Heads of States and Government of the African Union, which was held from 15 to 16 February 2025 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The Prime Minister reported on his participation at the head of a strong high-level delegation at the Summit for Action on Artificial Intelligence held from 6 to 11 February 2025 in Paris, France. The Minister of Justice, Prison Affairs and Human Rights reported on his working visit to Windhoek, Namibia from 9 to 11 February 2025. The Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of industry gave a presentation on the progress of Djibouti's third general census of population and housing, stressing that this census is designed to update socio-economic and demographic indicators. The Minister for the Economy and Finance with the responsibility for industry reported also on the strategy for the reform of public finance management as part of the modernization and improvement of economic and financial governance. The Republic of Djibouti is implementing a public finance management reform strategy. This initiative aims to strengthen budgetary discipline, optimize the allocation of public resources, and bring the country's financial management in line with international standards. The Minister of Economic and Finance in charge of industry presented also Djibouti's achievement under the Horn of Africa initiative over the period 2019-2024. This regional initiative has strengthened economic integration and accelerated the development of strategic infrastructure, particularly in the transport, energy, and trade sectors. The Republic of Djibouti has consolidated its role as a logistic hub by modernizing its port infrastructure and improving the trade corridors linking the region. The Minister of the Interior reported on his participation in the 42nd Ordinary Session of the Arab Interior Council held on 16 February 2025 in Tunis, Tunisia. The Minister for Agriculture, Water, Fisheries, Livestock and Hydroelectric Resources reported on his participation in the Summit of Ministers on Irrigation and Climate Change held from 13 to 14 February 2025 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The Minister for Infrastructure and Equipment reported on the ministerial meeting on the project to set up an institution to manage the Djibouti corridor, which was held from 10 to 13 February 2025 in Ethiopia. The Minister of Communication in charge of Posts and Telecommunications reported on his working visit to Kuwait from 12 to 14 February 2025. The Minister for Youth and Culture reported on the activities of the Technical Committee for the launch of the Arta Peace Memorial. The Minister also reported on her participation in the 13th Conference of Ministers of Culture in the Islamic world held from 12 to 13 February 2025 in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The Minister Delegate for the Digital, Economic and Innovation reported on her participation in the 4th General Assembly of the Digital Cooperation Organization held on 19 February 2025 in Jordan. The head of state and members of the government extended their most sincere congratulations to Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf on his election to the post of chairperson of the African Union Commission, which took place on 15 February 2025 at the 38th Summit of the African Union.
The conference on energy and application is opened at Ayla Hotel, marking an important moment in the collaboration between the University of Djibouti and its partner university. Listen for more details.
Conference on energy and application opened at the Ayla Grand Hotel, marking an important moment in the collaboration between the University of Djibouti and its partner university, Istanbul Technical University. This first day, rich in exchanges and discoveries, brought together experts, researchers, and professionals from the energy sector to discuss current challenges and innovative solutions in the field of energy transition. The day was marked by high-level scientific presentation on a range of key topics, including global energy transitions, innovative technologies for reducing carbon footprint, and new solutions for sustainable mobility and transport. The discussion highlighted innovative approaches to integrating renewable energy into existing infrastructure while meeting the growing need for greener transport. Presided over by the president of the University of Djibouti, this conference, the first of its kind in Djibouti, was massively attended by experts and rectors from some 50 universities around the world, as well as from the region, including the universities of Hargeisa, Somalia, and Benadir as well.
So it's a great pleasure for me as one of the organizers of this event, of the International Conference on Energy and Applications 2025. So when we are looking for the global challenges which we are facing for today, more than today, for the future. So we have been facing the challenges of environmental. The climate change is, I think, one of the big problems of all over the world. And also social, economical, geopolitical, and technological. So we have been facing these challenges. And especially regarding to climate changes, so the water security, energy security, food security, and so these are all brings, in the past, when we are faced with these challenges, maybe we are successful by our own as a country or as a...
The Djibouti president of university said that the conference highlighted the crucial role of technological innovation in ensuring a successful energy transition.
I would like to begin my conference to saying thank you to all of you. I feel honored and privileged to be addressing you today. My special thanks to the rector of Istanbul Technical University, Professor Hassan Mandal, and his team for their advices and the support for the organization of these events. And all the universities, rectors, and the vice president who always are on our side. Thank you. It is my hope that the ICEA 2025 will be able to achieve its objective in providing an effective forum for academicians, researchers, and professionals to advancing knowledge, research, and the technology for the humanity. As you know, energy presents one of the most complex challenges nowadays. Energy access and use, it is a necessary and powerful driver for socio-economic development. On the other hand, the burning of fossil fuels for energy is altering the Earth's climate. Shifting to the global scale, low-carbon energy system is expensive and difficult, and the affect nearly every aspect of humanity activity. Innovation in the production and the use of energy may offer cheaper, cleaner energy, but will require the right mix of policy initiatives, research programs, and the development efforts. ICEA 2025 tackles the energy challenge from a huge variety of angles regarding the energy production, storage, renewable energy, and the smart grids, offering insightful proposals for a more sustainable global energy system. Last but not least, my deepest gratitude goes to the organizing committee, International Scientific Committee, Institute, and the companies who have directly or indirectly supported this conference. The committee has organized a vibrant scientific program and is working hard to present highly respected and international notorious speakers to lead it. I wish you a very productive conference with exciting and encouraging discussion and exchange for knowledge, so that together we can anticipate the future of groundbreaking knowledge, research, and the technology in energy to the benefit of humanity and for our planet. Thank you.
A military delegation from the Djibouti Armed Forces recently completed a strategic visit to the town of Asamo, Gestir, and Obole as part of an overall approach to security and peace building. The aim of the missions was to strengthen cooperation with the local communities and guarantee stability in these sensitive areas. As soon as the delegation arrived in Asamo, it was enthusiastically received by the local peoples, testifying to the bond of trust established between the Djibouti Armed Forces and the local population. This warm welcome illustrates the community's recognition of the ongoing effort of the armed forces to ensure their security and improve their living environment. The open and sincere exchanges allow the citizens to express their concern and expectations, reinforcing the closeness between the army and the population. In Gestir, the delegation received an equally warm welcome. The local people emphasized the crucial role played by the armed forces in preserving peace and national cohesion, particularly in these remote regions where their presence is a guarantee of stability and security. This warm welcome illustrates the community's recognition of the armed forces' ongoing effort to ensure their security and improve their living environment. The open and sincere exchanges allow the citizens to express their concerns and expectations, reinforcing the closeness between the army and the population.
onkodiyo colabaanahay caddin laga baqaanahay seef laba.
Finally, in Obole, the importance of dialogue and cooperation between the armed forces and the public was reaffirmed. Discussions highlighted the specific challenges facing the community and possible solutions for a more secure and prosperous future. The Djibouti Army does not limit itself to security operations. It is actively committed to establishing lasting stability by proposing concrete solutions adapted to local realities, as community resilience is a key factor in peace. The Army is working to develop initiatives aimed at improving living conditions and strengthening civil-military cooperation. This mission is a further proof of the Djibouti Army's unwavering commitment to working for a stable and secure Djibouti. Through an integrated and inclusive approach, it is playing a decisive role in preserving peace and protecting the population, thereby ensuring a peaceful future for generations to come.
onkodiyo colabaanahay caddin laga baqaanahay seef laba aflaanahay geesi aaminaanahay.
The Diwan Zakat organized the distributions of Zakat for 2024 as well as the third and fourth installment of a sponsorship contribution. The event was held in Ali Sabih and brought together around 100 orphans as well as many elderly people living in modest circumstances. The ceremony began with the reading of the verses from the Holy Quran, followed by the speeches by the official present. This include the second deputy prefect of the region, Umar Idris Suge, the vice president of the regional council, Noor Said Geldon, and the director general of Diwan Zakat Foundation, Suleiman Hassan Musa. The representative of the Ministry of Muslim Affairs and Waqf expressed his gratitude to the regional officials and the beneficiaries of the financial aid. He stressed the importance of returning the contribution collected in the previous year to the beneficiaries. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Gelle, is the initiator of this aid program for orphans. The representative also thanked the Minister of Muslim Affairs and Waqf, Mumin Hassan Barre, and all those who contributed to the implementations of this initiative. The representative recalled that this humanitarian action would not be possible without the support of generous donors who play an essential role in improving the living conditions of the most vulnerable. This distribution of zakat demonstrates the ongoing commitment of the authorities and civil society to solidarity and the well-being of people in need. For the international scene, Israeli tanks entered the occupied West Bank. As negotiations on Gaza stalls, Israeli tanks have entered the occupied West Bank for the first time since 2002, while negotiations for the second part of the ceasefires are lagging behind. Israeli tanks entered the occupied West Bank for the first time since 2002, an operation denounced by the Palestinian authorities, who described it as a dangerous escalation. Israeli Defense Minister Katz had said the troops would remain in certain part of the territory for a year, and that tens of thousands of Palestinians who had been forced to leave would not be able to return. Witnesses saw several tanks advancing on unpaved tracks towards Jenin, longer bastions of the struggle against Israel. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.